Doug, we are talking about the early Iron Maiden days, and I have a special interest in the very first days of Iron Maiden, especially between 75 and 79. Not by nostalgia, because I wasn't a metalhead at that time, but I think that you and the guys, especially Steve Harris, got into a discipline and a way to decide the ways to put Iron Maiden. At that time, did you realize that Steve Harris could know the business stuff?
Um, no, I mean, Steve always had a big idea of how it should end up. Iron Maiden. He had quite big ideas, even when there was only three of us, me, Dave, and Steve, in a studio, down in East London. He always had really big ideas for the band. And I mean, we were doing gigs with Baldiano and that, and then Rod Small came down to see us, and on the way down to the gig, Paul got arrested by the police for having a knife and got carted off. So this is the first time I think, if I'm right, that it was the first time that Rod came down to see us. So we got down there and we were speaking to us. Well, look, we haven't got the singer. He's been carted off. So I said to Steve, well, can you sing? He says, yeah, I can, but not very good. He said, well, you'll have to do it then. So we done the gig. We done like 3 songs with Steve singing, and we didn't think we'd see Rod again after this. Anyway, Paul came in to the venue. He'd been let out by the police, and he jumped on the stage, and we done the gig, and that was it. I think Rod actually saw something in that show that made him think, well, there's something special here. And he then started working with the band. He didn't actually commit to being the manager, but he was working with the band. And I think here between him and Steve, it was Rod who had the brains behind the finances and all that sort of thing. But Steve was working close with him, and he's like picked up on it all, sort of thing, So it was a combination between Steve and Rod that gave him all the business angles to it all, But they were good days, actually. They really were really good days. Yeah.
Some people used to think that Steve Harris had a crystal ball in, but the journey was tough. Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
so.
It wasn't like a fairy tale. No, it was had
Yeah.
some rough times, but just persevere through it, and that's what you get. You get rewarded in the end, Yeah.
Yeah.